So today I wanted to talk about cognitive dissonance and why they resolve in certain ways. So I was brought up as a Jehovah's Witness. I had a brother and a sister who was brought up as a Jehovah's Witness. Now I'm mainly going to talk about myself and my sister today. So my sister had cognitive dissonance from the organisation, and she always resolved it in favour of the organisation. But I had cognitive dissonance, and I resolved it in a much more sceptical way. And there is a reason for this. It's based on sunk cost fallacies. So when you've put in your life work into progressing within the organisation, and you've actually managed to get somewhere, like my sister did. She got into like pioneer school. She got lots of friends and validation from doing the organisation's work. So whenever something come up that challenged the organisation's authority, she would look at it to see, well, I ain't getting all this reward, so surely there must be some way of resolving this in the organisation's favour. That way I can keep the benefit from doing the organisation. But I saw it differently. I saw that if there was some problem, then the organisation was probably to blame because I'd seen people leave that I cared about, and I tried to make friends in the organisation, but a lot of those friends tended to disappear. Particularly, there was a family that I think left in about 1994 when I was growing up, and about the time that there was a May 22nd, 1994 Awake article about young people who had died from blood transfusions, and they were pretty much celebrated as martyrs, and I think it just gave the wrong impression to that family that maybe what if it was their child that was being celebrated? They would celebrating them dying, not them continuing to live and getting a life-saving blood transfusion. But anyway, that had a big effect on me because I saw it just seems suspicious because there was an entire family that just disappeared. We used to go to the book study with them and everything, so they were like trusted within the organisation, and they were like the closest family to us, and so it was really quite good when we went there. Felt quite special, but suddenly one day they just disappeared, and forever afterwards I was just felt more and more suspicious of the organisation, and there's various other things. So anyway, when my sister got the chronic fatigue syndrome, I could see that she was like pioneering, doing stuff for the organisation, potentially emotional impacts and that. And yeah, it just seemed to be the organisation that was to blame. But for my sister, it wasn't. The organisation wasn't to blame. It clearly did affect her. Either direct criticism or she knew somehow. And she definitely resolved it in the organisation's favour because of the what she did. She moved to a flatter area, got a car, and didn't got a stable relationship and didn't pursue having children. So all of those were factors, and all of the factors basically outside of the organisation that played a role. So it was clear that she did have that cognitive dissonance, and she did resolve it in the organisation's favour. So yeah, But obviously that caused like a split. So it wasn't just me though, it was my brother as well that sort of did it. He was like split between me and my sister basically because he was already baptized and he did say he was like tempted by some worldly women that I was working with, but he was cancelled fairly quickly and came back, but it didn't seem to like sit right with him, and it caused him like mental health issues. I'll chat about that another time, but for now it's just talking about the cognitive dissonance, and yeah, as time progressed, and later on, she left home. She was married. She was in a flatter area. She got a car. Um, it just seemed to lessen my criticism of the organisation a bit. It seemed to rub off a little bit. And I don't know the reason why, but it might have rubbed off on her husband and that, because it didn't seem like that enthusiastic about being zealous about everything, just enough to keep his position in the organisation, because he always used to love Star Wars and other things that my parents didn't like that approve of, and so things cooled down a bit. So with my parents, it wasn't like appreciative of them being too spiritual. So yeah, it just basically I think though there was like sacrifices on both sides. Um, so she felt like she'd sacrificed a lot to play her role in the organisation, because she was supposed to be an encouragement spiritually to keep me in the organisation, and for a time that seemed to work. So yeah, because for a long time I did stay in the organisation, and but the thing that got me was that I did feel like she was going to have children one day, and that meant as well that it felt kind of legitimate, her threat to shun me if I left the organisation, because if she was going to hold up her part and do what she was expected, then it seemed fair enough. Obviously, I don't see it that way now, because no one should ever have to choose between their family and their religion, and that's the end of it, really. But at the time, if she'd have like had children, then I probably would have stayed in the organisation, because it felt like she was having success within the organisation. But it just felt like failure to me, and like who was she to like tell me that I should be shunned if I left, if she wasn't even going to do that? And whenever you talk about it, life was supposed to begin in conception. So basically, if she did have any children and they died, then they're all going to get resurrected anyway. But if you didn't have children in the first place, then that was a complete impossibility. But yeah, that's another thing that's like woke up from, and partly that's her attitude towards it, because if she really seriously believed that it was the truth, she would have seriously understood that aspect of it too. And the fact that it didn't have any impact on her in the way that you'd have expected meant that it just like seemed to ring hollow. But anyway, yeah, this is a bit of a ramble, but I just wanted to like talk about cognitive dissonance. But yeah, it goes down in the organisation's favour if you've like got investment and you're succeeding, and cognitive dissonance goes down against the organisation if you've seen friends that you care about leave the organisation, and then further challenges that come along that makes you doubt, then it goes down against the organisation. So there's another key point really, is that people, and especially families that leave the organisation, do have a lasting impact on those that are left behind in the organisation, and their absence like marks a vote of no confidence, and less people coming in, more people leaving, and it just expands the cognitive doubts of those that are left inside. And yeah, anyway, I'll just leave it for now. Take care. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you. Bye.